Hey folks, Valentin the Mad here, and today I have a new preview for you. As some of you are aware, the guys behind Half-Sword are working on a new update, who add some quite interesting features in our aspect, so I called them to come over, talk about it, and showcase it. However, there is an issue with the weather coming from my end. We did a live showcase with screen share, and when I came to edit the video, I saw that at some point, very early, the recording froze and I have about an hour long video file of just this. While that very much sucks, it was still really fun talk about the progress on the game since the last interview, the growing team, the upcoming gore additions, and some under the hood details about the gore system. I hope you enjoy this. The footage is from a work in progress build they sent me, so some of what they're talking about can be seen throughout the video. Now, without further ado, here it is. So hey guys, welcome, nice seeing some of you again, so let's begin with your introduction.
Hello, I'm Frank Togonidze, just like last time. I'm the guy who makes stuff on Unreal Engine for this game. Also, I'm from Georgia, and I hope all the Georgians who hear this will be happy to hear that. Georgia, the country. Nice to hear you again, Valentin. Guys.
Yep, I'm Ivan Astarov, as well as last time. I'm the technical art director and the guy that does all the 3D stuff for Half-Sword. Valentin, thank you so much for having us back here as a second interview, and that's all for me.
Oh yeah, it's like my pleasure. The upcoming update looks quite nice, so yeah, I had to have you on.
And I'm Alex Finnegan. I'm the technical artist who is also from Georgia, but the other Georgia, the state in the US. So yeah, I basically right now I've been doing a lot of gore related things for the game and pretty much just trying to figure out anything that needs to be figured out. So people basically just come to me with a thing, and if no one knows what to do about it, I attempt to get it working.
Yeah, well, I think if we were like official with our titles, it would be what was I? The game director, Ivan, the art director, and Alex, technical artist, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the and
I think I said that, didn't I? Or did I thought I said technical artist.
Yeah, you did, yeah. And we have more guys who aren't here at the moment.
Yes. I was about to say that we are missing two of the guys at least. It's Adrak, our community manager / UI artist, and well, he does a lot of stuff, and Good Malware, who makes music for us, and yeah, these guys. At least, yeah, Adrock is sleeping right now. The dog, Galaxy High Marshal, of course, how I could forget about him. He's
He's doing
people
the blood
probably know him. Yeah, Galaxy High Marshal. People probably know him from your channel, Valentin. He's the guy who makes all the blood-related stuff for us. So he's our blood master. He makes blood effects, blood decals, and stuff like that. And you will see a lot of them.
He's also been working on the wounds for the procedural wound damage. He's been doing a lot of the textures for that.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. It would be great to have him here, but yeah, unfortunately, we have some crazy time paradox when we are living in today and he's living in the yesterday. So we just
Oh, and there's Tiago, who did the main menu music.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Alright. That's all. That's everyone.
Well, there is also lots of people in the community who is helping us, but yeah, the development team. That's all, I guess.
Yeah, it's a big shout out to the community. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support and all that stuff and helping us out.
Yeah, thank you a lot, guys.
Alright, so how has the reception been since the last interview? Because, like as you mentioned, community grown quite a bit, and the project is shaping up very nicely.
Yeah, well, we have quite a, oh my, we have what, over 1,000 people already in the community in Discord, and thank you, Valentin, of course, because most of those people came from your previous video, and they probably will be happy to see our next interview. And yeah, people are mostly very positive about our game. If they have issues with it, it's mostly because of the optimization, I guess. But yeah, that's another issue that we'll take care of later. But yeah, people are very excited about the gameplay itself, and we are very excited about people being excited about that game. Say so. Yeah, guys, can you add something?
Also, TikTok has been a really helpful thing. I remember I couldn't sleep one night, 4 a.m., and I was like, yeah, I could. Let's just see what happens when we post a video of the game on TikTok. So I posted not only one, but like about 6 or 7 videos of one of the guys. I always forget his nickname on Discord, but he plays the game really well, and it just looks really good when he plays the game. So I just took a couple of those and posted it on TikTok, and
Yeah, there's a
exploded.
Volatile doppelganger. Shout out.
Thank you so much, dude.
You're great.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
sick.
please go on.
And so that just like blew up so much, like at least like 3 or 4 of the videos. One almost got like 1 million views or something like that. And the reception has been quite interesting, and also more people on YouTube have started to do like videos of the game, playing it, and we noticed that that's something. I mean, that's good. Both that people are playing the game, and that they're showing the game to more people, so more people gets to know the game, and that's really cool because that also brings into like people just seeing the game and either loving it or hating it. I mean, but most of the reception has been very positive actually. But I think that's the biggest change that I've noticed, at least for us. Like, more people seeing it, and it circulates a little bit. But I think it could actually circulate way more in the future if we get like a good way of like you can record your videos and you can upload them quickly, and if it's something that people like to see or like or share, it's just awesome. It's just really good. But yeah, that's what I've noticed and seen.
Yeah, and the game is also fun, so just the physics-based stuff and all the silliness that can happen just delivers very cool moments that you don't really get in a whole lot of games.
Yeah, that's something that gets like very ridiculous the more we add. Like, we really try to add like quite a serious aesthetics to the game, like 15th century medieval authentic stuff. But it kind of makes it even more ridiculous that the characters behave in such a strange way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I'm terrible at this game, by the way. So sorry about that.
It's okay, I am
Yes,
too.
another part of the fun is physics plus dismemberment, so can you talk about all the gore stuff that is in the works at the moment? Showcase that.
I'll start by saying I actually got into this project because of the video that you did, Valentin, where you interviewed them. And I noticed at the end they were like, and by the way, if people are, interested in this, just reach out or anything. So I was like, okay, worked for me in the past. So yeah, that's how I got involved in the project. And though the system you're seeing right now, the newest one that we're working on is vertex painting. We're doing real-time vertex painting via a plugin that we got off the Unreal Marketplace. So it will basically let us draw onto these characters. So you can draw right onto their textures wherever you hit them. And a cool thing about the materials or the textures in, well, not just the Unreal Engine, but in other engines too, they can cause 3D effects on the model. So we can essentially remove parts of the character as we hit them just by using the system. So that's pretty much what's going on is Galaxy made a meat texture, for the flesh, and as we hit the characters in each spot, it registers where they're hit, and then it just slowly takes away chunks of it at a time. We're planning to get it to be more like cuts for the swords, and then like the chunks and stuff for the maces and things like that. But we've got a lot of really cool things coming, and we're actually going to try and do a system similar to Overgrowth. The blood dripping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do. We're working on getting that working with the same system, actually, just on a different color channel. So right now, like when it hits them, I'm trying to figure out how much of this you want me to go into detail with.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely go be detailed. Absolutely.
Okay. You asked
Yes,
for
I
it.
love the blood, man.
Yeah, I do want to hear like the
Okay.
behind the under the hood part of it.
Okay. Well, this might take a while. All right. So
Absolutely,
vertex
yeah,
painting.
Go ahead.
All right. So the way that it works is every material or every. All right. So you have materials, which are the things you're actually seeing here, like the finished product, and you have textures, which are essentially like all the little pieces that go into making that material. So if you see the character and he's got like, the skin color, the color itself is a texture. The shininess that's on him, that's a texture. The different little wrinkles in him, that's a texture. So each texture has colors to it. They've got like different color channels. You have the albedo channel, you have red, green, blue, and alpha. And using the vertex painting system, we can alter the different channels or assign new materials to or new textures to those channels. So it's like textures layered on top of text. It's like a whole layering system. So right now in the red channel, that is creating the wounds, and I think the blue channel is going to create the blood, and then green might be something else fun, like it could be dirt or it could be burns, if we end up doing that. So we could do all sorts of crazy things with this. And another recent thing we actually have is Frank. And were you working with someone else? I don't know who else, but I know Frank was at least involved in part of it, and it was making the blood pool. So when it ends up, well, you can explain that, Frank.
Yeah, that's actually most of that's Galaxy's work.
Okay.
Mostly. I just made some logic for it, and
We actually have a few other things in the works too. We have one thing I'm hoping to do is to add more layers to the damage model. So not only do we end up taking away flesh, but maybe it'll. The idea I had was that we could start revealing like bones and stuff at certain locations, and for optimization's sake, they wouldn't spawn normally unless you hit the specific area. So for instance, he'd have like a full skeleton inside of him, but none of it's actually visible unless you start unless it registers hits to the head, and then it'll, make those things visible or something like that.
yeah, like we're most of the systems are unfortunately very much in the working process stage right now. But yeah, I
We do
hope
have
you.
we have a picture of what it could look like with the bones.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
think I saw it. Yeah,
we could send.
Yeah.
Oh, you sent it to him?
but they do send. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
And yeah, the blood pooling system we have here works kind of, sort of like in Overgrowth, but I hope a bit better because the way it works here is we have blood particles every time you cut somebody.
Thanks to Galaxy.
Yeah, thanks to Galaxy, we have cool blood particles that fall from the wound. They drop from the wound, and when they hit the surface, they leave these blood decals. But if enough amount of blood decals fall in the same place, they start forming the pool, and
there
yeah, we basically have this dynamic blood pooling system that creates blood pools everywhere where there is actually enough blood. And as you can see, we have half of the jaw of this dude just
Yeah, I saw that.
turned
That's
away.
nasty. I love it.
Yeah, so
Oh, and I've been working on making some new meshes for the head explosion, and I was talking to Frank about how to get it to make it so that the skull parts would be rigid, but like the bits of skin on the face might, flap about like, well, skin.
Can there be like a partial head destruction, perhaps?
Oh yeah,
we will have partial body destruction. Like we already have it here, but it will be even more obvious later when we can actually like put skull in underneath flesh, and when we take away flesh by just cutting it off, as we have it now, the bones will reveal, and yeah, we will have this multi-layer not dismemberment, but like
destruction.
damage system. Yeah. Yeah, right now the way it works is any type of weapon deals same type of damage on flesh, but we'll try to diversify it, like make blunt trauma, sharp cuts, and stuff like that.
No, and actually, one thing that we haven't implemented yet, and depending on how things go, we might not, but it is there, does exist. It's just not in there yet. In response to what you were saying earlier, Valentine, about the partial head damage, we do have a shape key for him, for the main character. Well, the character of the NPCs. We have one that's like a caved-in skull with like an eye popping out, sort of thing. So we do have that. We just haven't. So it is something that has
eventually,
been
whatever
crossing our
works,
mind.
yeah.
It is something that's been crossing our minds, at least. So
We have to have that. That's super cool.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
What the
Good.
heck?
He's alive, and he will try to crawl away from you
Yeah, he will live. He will live.
very slowly because probably he's in pain.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I love
he
it.
does-
Yeah. Where are you going, Mike? Where are you going, Mike? Where?
And if he crawls away far enough, he will try to get up now.
We should. We're gonna probably have this as a give up feature on your own in the game as well. Like if you're you don't want to fight anymore, you just give up your weapons, and if you don't face a psycho, you will be spared. But if you face like someone that is crazy, they will not have mercy on you. And also it kind of will depend on what you do in the game.
And yeah, we're playing like many features that are not just about fighting, but more like.
Oh yeah, so let's talk about the gameplay stuff. So yeah, what do you guys have planned since? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we have plans, but we can't show them yet because all we're doing right now is what you're seeing. But yeah, the game is supposed to be mostly about fighting, but it should also have some social features. Like there will be a hub area, a tavern where you can go after the fights and buy, sell, customize armor, drink, and talk to NPCs. And also there will be some kind of reputation system where like if you have a high reputation, for example, as Ivan said, if you have high reputation and you try to give up in the fight, you'll probably get spared. But if you have low reputation, people will probably kill you anyway, and
People want to
it
see
will
you dead.
depend on. So for example, if you kill somebody that is trying to give up, this will lower your reputation. But one other thing that we're going to add in this update is different alternative grips for the weapons. So right now, Ivan can press left mouse button
Oh,
to swing his weapon, and if he presses right mouse button, he will change to alternative grip and can do stuff like that.
It gets brutal. But to say something about like the gameplay, like you don't need to be brutal. Like you can choose to be brutal, but as like Frank said about the reputation stuff, you it might face against you at some point if you do too much silly things like executions or stuff like that. Sorry.
is there gonna be a bit of a roguelike mode, perhaps, with all that in mind?
Yes, actually, this is something that we're planning already, but we are still yet to implement it. We want to have this kind of. So Ivan made this cool map that you are seeing right now, but actually, all of this map is modular. You can take any of these modules and make like a different arrangement for this map. And the other thing that we can do with this is to make procedurally generated levels where you start on this level, for example, and you go through the door, and the other chunk of the level generates, and like this, like you can create like this little dungeon crawler kind of game mode where you go from room to room. You will have some treasures to collect, stuff like that. Oh, guts. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. That was
Yeah.
actually the first thing I did for them when they brought me on board. Was I had some intestines left around from a previous project I never finished, so I asked them if they wanted to use it, and yeah, so now when he gets cut in half at the waist, his intestines spill out.
Yeah, well, you can, actually just cut open his stomach to get his guts spilled out.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so I actually meant roguelike for the character part. So, like, you kind of have your character, he has his reputation, and
Yeah.
he's kind of an asshole, and he gets executed and character gone.
Ah, you mean like that?
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. We're planning to make this hardcore mode where you only have one life, and when you die, you have to create another character. Yes.
Yeah,
And
that was the question, yeah.
although
yeah, and
Go on.
Alex, you want
I
to
was
add
gonna
something?
say actually, it's funny you mentioned like I don't know if this is what you were talking about, Valentine, but that I was brainstorming with a friend of mine the other day about the idea of a game where there's at least a mode in the whether if it's the story or arena tower whatever mode of it is, but like your character can get killed off and then he's just dead and the game continues and you make a new character and continue from there in a world where like others will acknowledge that your character's dead. So you could like I don't know. I think it would be an interesting idea if we did have at least like maybe a mode where you can keep playing and you can build up your character's reputation and then he can get killed and then whoever killed him, their reputation gets boosted and then you make a new character and you can like work to get revenge on him or something.
Yeah, that is what I meant, actually, yeah.
Like scoreboard for the gladiators, and the gladiator, the fighter that killed your character, he will be like,
Maybe
Yeah,
he gets saved or something as like a
he will just get boost like nemesis
nemesis.
system. Yeah, and the next time you meet him as a next character, yeah, you'll remember that guy.
Yeah,
And
the idea for like how we deal with characters in Offsword, it will be something similar to that as like the original the design that we went for, the core loop for the game is well, it focuses on arena fights, like combat, swords, armor, and stuff like that. And when it comes to if your character dies, like it's either like you can your character can get severely damaged, And if we decide to like keep that in some way in the game, like you can progress, but you're severely damaged. You need to get yourself patched up or something like that. But also with the character customization, like the idea is to like it's not about the character; it's about what you do in the game. Like you are customizing your character with arms and armor. You're building your character in his lifespan. And when you die, well, that's either the end of that lifespan of that character and his story, and then you go on to some new character with like a different name, doesn't matter. But or if you decide to find if we do like a insurance system, like where you have gotten a lot of stuff, but you can insure it because you're going to go into a gore fight, and you have really bad reputation. Maybe you can insure your stuff to your next character that is somewhat related to this guy, or something like that. But yeah, there's something we just need to play on with when we get to actually building the game. Because right now we just make sure that we can walk, the characters die, the armor stuff works, and the weapon customization will be plausible, and so on and so on. So like just setting the standards for what we can build with the game later on.
Yeah, got it. So yeah, you're right. Got to avoid feature creep.
Yeah. So we take it safe better than rushing into like a completely huge area of like very complicated game design that we can't match up with what we can do really. So
and we divided our let's say workflow like this. Like first we're trying to make a vertical slice that showcases just the base mechanics, which are just fighting, like armor, weapons, just how physics work, how movement works, just like this very core gameplay. And after we have this done, we will switch to making all the other stuff that surrounds the fighting mechanics of the game, like social mechanics, tavern, like overall gameplay loop that will include game economy with acquiring, buying, selling stuff, NPC reputation system and stuff like that. So we will get to that a bit later. Like now we can talk about this, but we cannot actually show anything. But mostly what we're working on right now is just making sure our characters are able to walk and swing their weapons.
Yeah, every all those like any of the crazy ideas that I was saying or anything like that, no, or whatever, like none of that is set in stone. So like, don't go expecting like none of that's like a promise or a guarantee that that's going to be in the game. Those were just ideas that I was throwing out there just now. Is none of it's
we do have like we just check like what the possibilities, like what we can expand more upon later on. But like as long as it's it works, it's fun, like the gameplay of the sword fighting, that's like what we focused on the most right now, and the gore, like it just feels good. And then what can we sprinkle on top of it, like the setting, the 15th century, that's also added on top of that, and then whatever we add on top of that just needs to complement the gameplay pretty much. So yeah, there is possibilities, there is ideas, but yeah, nothing is carved in stone right now. We know that we're gonna build this thing. That's what we know. So in likely fashion, no promises, but it's definitely gonna be something.
Yeah, well, we actually we have our let's call it design document that we're trying to follow, but we understand how it can be executed and how it will look in the game only when we actually do it, when we make it. So yeah, we have ideas, and we will understand how these ideas will actually look like only when we make them.
Oh yeah, first and foremost, fun combat and yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
the core of it.
Yes. Yes. And actually, yeah. Oh, and the armor system. If you noticed, the last time Ivan hit his head, he died. But this time he's wearing helmet, so yeah, he's still alive. And
It's
I think,
useful.
yeah,
I-
you,
Oh, I was going to say, I will say that I have helmets and I have been hit in the head while wearing one. It ends up ringing your ears. It's insane.
yeah, maybe we should do this in the game as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, we should definitely add like when you're exhausted, you start like breathing like you're in a can, and
Oh, yeah.
like I think that would be like a really useful push for us where we do more on sound design, like
Oh,
where
absolutely. Sound is
like
very underrated.
oh yeah. I think I mean having good sound in a game like that can it can be very good, very vast different of making it good or making it meh. But if the sound is on top, like it gives enough with the feedback in the game, and it's it feels good and it sounds good. I think it's a really good mix for making it nice. But,
Yeah, and also I can say that what would make our game look better is when we actually have better animations, because right now Ivan's work is flawless with his
Yeah.
models and just like visual style, but yeah, when characters start to move, they look too stupid. We need to work on that.
Well,
But
there
yeah,
is kind of a charm to it, to be honest.
yeah. Well, thank you.
I mean, it kind of brings into like the complete ridiculousness as well. Like
Yeah.
it's tries to take it serious, but then like
I like
see.
that though. I like I'm not a huge fan of like the things that are like self-aware and they're like, oh, look how self-aware we are, like that kind of humor.
Yeah.
I like the ones that are just play it completely straight, like completely deadpan, like Leslie Nielsen or
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like those out of context clips from like JoJo's or Baki, where it's just like these people who are just acting completely serious in the most ridiculous situation. I love that kind of humor. That it has heart to it.
That's true. I do agree with that actually. It's just like you don't know if they're playing character or it just makes it a little bit more believable and more ridiculous because of the context. It's just like
Yeah.
no.
And if you're going for realism, real life can be just as ridiculous. I mean, I heard about. All right, so trial by combat. I heard about one instance in history where the people who were fighting were forced to fight to the death using ram's horns. The ram's horns broke in the middle of the battle, and then the victor, I think, was the one who bit off the other guy's junk.
Yes.
This actually happened. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
fight mechanic in the next update.
Oh.
so yeah, that happened. That was. I'll have to look up what the case was, but yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, our game is not so far from real history after all.
It's you got unintentionally historically accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the aesthetics. Like, oh, by the way, other cool thing that I just wanted to throw out there. So all of the weapons are all completely modular. So they're made up of different pieces that Ivan did that, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Can you spam one so that we have like
Oh yeah.
a showcase of many different.
I mean, I can spend 1, 2, 3 and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like just for instance, each sword is made up of different parts, kind of like in Mountain Blade, Bannerlord. So you'd have like the handle, the pommel, the crossguard, the blade, all that stuff.
I think we got like up to 1,200,000 sword variations.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's insane.
It's yeah, the way with this batch of weapons, this is just like a test case. Can we do it? Yeah, we can do it. And we have different lengths, like we can have different guards, different, what's it called? Pommels and it, so the weapons itself, like, it's going to be a physical property. Like, I think Frankie set it up as like each component has different properties, and if you when you want to customize your weapon, it's not only for the looks, but it's also how it behaves. If you want a heavy sword, you have a heavy pommel, heavy guard, and a long blade, for example, and it's going to behave way different from a light blade. Is that still valid, Frank? Is it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It totally is. And actually, the way the weapons are built right now, they're modular, and I also try to keep their balance and weight close to their real life counterparts. Like the sword balances closer to hilt, and the mace balances like it's top heavy. And the way our physics system works is that if you have a heavier pommel, the weapon will be balanced closer to your arm, and if you have a heavier like axe head, it will be balanced closer to the axe head. So it works pretty well. And can you spam more 1 so that we can show that we have swords and maces that are made of different parts. And unfortunately, in this build, we can't show poleaxes and axes, which are also, we have a whole like big bunch of modules for them, but in this build we cannot show that them all. They are like the axes and poleaxes in this build are just like one type. We will have more of them when we release this update. But yeah, as you can see, the swords are actually, all of them are made of different parts. The guards, the cross guards, pommels, handles, and blades. And the same for the maces, their shafts and their heads. All of them are generated randomly. They are made of different materials every time. So sometimes they can be gilded, sometimes then they can be made of iron. Sometimes they can be made of steel, and all of these properties actually change the way the weapons behave in your hand. I think that's all I can say about modular system. Oh, and also if you can generate Morgenstern, the spiky one, yeah, any spiky mace, just to show what I mean. Every spike on this weapon has its own sharpness property. So if you hit somebody with this weapon, it will recognize which exact spike was used to like deal damage, and the damage will be dealt accordingly. So with every weapon, it actually depends on which part of the weapon you hit with. Is it metal? Is it spiky? Is it sharp? Is it blunt? Is it more rigid? And all of these variables determine what exactly happens with each hit.
Also, the way we approach like building weapons, it's just a really modular, or as modular way as possible, so we can have length variations, and we can have spiky versus blunt variation. But I think that's what we planning to do with the pole arms, or as we call them in the game. Well, in source files at least, hafted weapons, where it's more than just a hafted weapon. It could be also an axe or a warhammer. stuff like that. But it goes under one category where the head that you have for a poleaxe, you can use it as a warhammer as well. But maybe you don't want it to be as spiky, but you can have like a smaller spike, for example. Or you see here on the axe here, you can have two meat hammers and or beaks, or yeah, it's hard to show.
Wait, is there gonna be like a visual armor damage?
Oh yes, right now we have visual damage for the character itself, and we will apply the same system for armor, so that the clothing, the fabric armor will be get torn, and ideally we can use the same system for plate armor, for metal armor, just to dent it.
We absolutely can. It would just be
yeah.
a like a normal map or maybe a height map to do the dents. That
Yes.
So, yeah.
I mean, even if we don't deform it, the mesh itself, we can use normal map to just show where the dent is like supposed to be.
Alright, you guys also have a Kickstarter coming, right?
Yes.
Correct.
That's a big topic. We're actually launching our Kickstarter page very soon, and we're really hoping that we can that people who are interested in our game can actually support us with it, because yeah, we're planning to do lots of things with it, and well, Ivan, help me out here.
Sorry. We just announced it, so we have a couple of things we need to do before that. A little bit before we actually launch the Kickstarter, and yeah, as I said, hopefully people are interested into supporting us. That would be really appreciated. We are still we're working out of nothing. Like we we don't have anything funded or anything like that. We just go on and we make a game that we love to play ourselves and that we really enjoy working on. But it would be nice if we can get like Frank a computer at least. That would be good.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about your potato machine.
Let's talk about my potato machine. Yeah, the biggest problem I'm facing personally right now is that I don't. My personal laptop is not even able to run our game currently, so I cannot even test it right now. So yeah, the first thing that we'll need to do once we get our Kickstarter money, hopefully, is buy a computer that I will be able to work on, to continue working on this game. And yeah, also there are many other things that we need to pay for, like legal fees for opening the company and stuff like that. Yeah, and well, we're not hoping to fund the whole game development process from Kickstarter, but we're at least hoping to get
Give it a
enough
little push.
to stay afloat for a couple of months before we can get some
Investors.
publisher, strike a deal with publisher and stuff like that. And yeah, we're currently talking with several publishers, but yeah, making a contract with them will take a while, and we already need some support.
Yeah, I think it is a crazy cool project. Very fun, even in the current state, as I played it, so very hope it's gonna be successful.
Yeah.
Like, I think it is shaping up very nicely.
Well,
And the plans do sound like a lot of fun.
Thank you, and yeah, we hope that it will be successful as well, and we are going to update our free playable demo for everybody who is interested to play the game before they can support us, of course. And we will have this big update, 0.3 update, when we launch the Kickstarter campaign, and it will actually have all this cool stuff we talked about before, like all this armor and weapon systems that we talked about, they will all be playable once we launch our Kickstarter campaign. So yeah, people will be able to play all that for free and decide for themselves if they like the game enough or not.
Let's get Frank a new computer so we can continue working on the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
let's get me a new computer. Yeah.
Alright guys, so yeah, you heard it. Do help Frank get a new computer. Perhaps even fund the whole body thing, like, who knows?
Oh,
That'd
that would be wild.
Personally, I do very much endorse this one, so... Okay guys, so thanks for coming, like, it was fun, as always.
Oh,
Thanks
for
thank
having
you so much.
Thank you very much for having us. It was it was really fun. I hope this time people could hear me much better, but yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Oh yeah, much better mic, by the way, yeah.
Oh,
I do remember, yeah.
yeah.
Well,